So the next session is Striving for Scientifically Representative Trials by Dr. Raquel Gabarro, Global Clinical Development Associate Director at GlaxoSmithKline.
Thank you, Paloma, and thank you for to the organizing team for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. And I would like also to thank you, my colleague, Michelle Braid, that has helped me in getting the slides and the talk that I will be delivering to you today. So is that yeah. So this is an outline of what I will be presenting today. Introduction, I'm afraid you have already heard many of the things that I have prepared for the introduction in the previous talks. What is a GSK research on clinical trial representation? And the question that is thrown here is there equitable representation in clinical trials? I'm not sure if we are going to be able to answer that question today. Some regional difference that we can see when talking about representation in clinical trials. A couple of examples and a summary. So let us start with a statement. As I said, this is not new for you today. Diseases and medicines can affect people differently depending on their ethnicity, sex, race, and age. So we need to make sure that our clinical trials include those affected by the disease under the study. This is a common and general statement that we all shared. In addition to that, as has been already mentioned, the regulatory framework also goes towards the same direction. In the latest ICH that was released in January, it is stated that the participation selection process should be representative, and this is the word, of the population groups that the investigational product is intended to benefit. So, this concept is also very much linked with the personalized medicine. Taking this to an extreme, that would be ideal that we will be able to find a specific medicine at a specific dose for any given subject. This is the extreme, this is the idea. But to get to that, to decide smarter based on evidence generated, this only can be achieved by setting up representative trials, accounting for the epidemiology of and the disease's prevalence factor, as well as socioeconomic factor. I will comment a little bit more on that. For that, scientifically appropriate representation is critical for advancing our understanding of new medicines and vaccines to ensure that they have the biggest impacts on our patients. At GSK, since 2022, all phase 3 trials have representation plans in place before the start of enrollment. Over 85% of the phase 3 trials that completed enrollment in 2024 met enrollment targets, so that participants represent the disease epidemiology under the study. So science is active in this matter. And now the question, is there equitable representation in clinical trials? So in this slide, next one. Yeah. The visual shows different type of people, and in that sense, the clinical trial diversity takes into consideration representation, age, sex, gender, from the point of view of who will benefit from the medicine or vaccines once approved. That is, to which type of population is the medicine indicated. And the inclusion speaks more on the socioeconomic status, rural versus urban, sexual orientation, and this can be more subjective and are less easy to measure. Overall, everything has to be considered as much as possible when designing a clinical trial. So let's see from our point of view what are the barriers that can be found when speaking on the topic. Sites. From the site perspective, staffing and resource limitation, the need for sites to increase cultural humility, lack of access to diverse populations and target recruitment. From the HCP perspective, unconscious bias as just human beings, a lack of incentives and time with patients to really understand what is behind the person that they have in front of them, lack of diversity among investigators themselves. From the sponsor's point of view, they can be